Rob?
Alright, I almost forgot this guy, the Collect and Connect piece for Steppenwolf. And unfortunately, if we bring in Batman's piece, I can't collect anything because I'm missing the torso. It's a hard sentence to say. So, figuring with the lower torso and kind of like the skirt or kilt he's wearing, he's going to be about that tall. So we'll just bring up the Flash here since this is his review. So you can see the leg is already hitting him at mid-thigh. So he's going to be a rather large figure. So probably right around there. So, alright, let's get back to the rest of the review. Hello everyone, welcome to Rob's Rogues, and today we're taking a look at Mattel's DC Comics Multiverse. More importantly, this is the Justice League Cyborg. Cyborg has been a favorite character of mine for quite a while. Of course, being a huge Robin fan that I am, once Robin, Dick Grayson, and then eventually Tim Drake get in the Teen Titans. Victor Stone's Cyborg was there. I'm a child of the 80s, so I watched the Super Friends, and Cyborg was created in there for that show, and he translated over into... Actually, I wasn't created for that show, excuse me. He was in the Wolfman and Perez Teen Titans, and then they brought him into the Super Friends. I about put my foot in my mouth. Because of that cartoon series, I've always had a soft spot for Cyborg, and then in the New 52, they bumped him up to a Justice Leaguer, which at first I was like, Cyborg really needs to be part of the Teen Titans, as he's one of the younger members now in the Justice League, and is actually kind of an older member in the Titans. But in today's society, with everything being technologically advanced and we're relying on computers, Cyborg is a really pretty heavy hitter and a Justice League member, and an important member, since, you know, Batman can easily work with Cyborg just because of his technology enhancements and things like that his father had done. Looking really forward to Cyborg's role in this movie, and Ray Fisher seems to be such a cool guy from just different interviews and just footage I've seen him at Comic-Con. So this is the figure that some people were kind of like, it looks like a gray piece of poo. Paint apps, at least on the surface here, look like they could be a little bit better. Unfortunately, I think Cyborg is probably going to be the weakest in the paint app department. We'll see. But again, he's all made out of metal, and we'll see how it is in the movie. But we'll get him out of package. We'll take a closer look, and we'll take a look at the Collect and Connect pieces that come with Cyborg. Alright, we've got Cyborg out of package, and I've heard a couple of reviewers and some people on Facebook say he looks a little derpy, like, I'm Cyborg. Maybe a little. I was kind of wondering about the organicness to Cyborg's look in the movie, how he was going to come across in toy figure form. I think in a Hot Toys or something like that, they're going to obviously do it very well. In a plastic molding Kenner form, or excuse me, a Mattel form, I thought that might be a little bit more dicey, if you will, of trying to get that correct, as I have everything falling behind me. Apologize. So, I don't hate the figure. I think he's probably going to be the weakest one, and I really wanted him to be one of the best ones. So let me raise the camera up a little bit more so we can get in a little bit more. Now, I don't think he's trash juice or anything like that. His head looks like it's back too far. Like, you know, you're putting your head back going like, what? So, that probably made no sense whatsoever. I don't think he's horrible. I don't think he's horrible at all. I have a soft spot for Cyborg, so I'm a little bit more forgiving. It just looks like his head and neck are back too far, like he's he's being shocked by what he's hearing, and he hasn't brought his head back to a full rested position. But the sculpting and how they made him, I think, is pretty solid. It's decent. It would have been kind of cool to get the Comic-Con exclusive that has the light-up features. And I think we're going to be seeing Cyborg morph quite a bit and changing and updating his body as he's growing and finding out how to work with the Mother Box. I'm believing, like in the New 52 and in the Justice League War cartoon movie, that he is essentially a Mother Box, and the Mother's Box kind of infused with him basically to save his life, and obviously going to be playing a big part in Darkseid and Steppenwolf. So we'll find all that out in the movie. But I don't mind the figure. I don't mind the figure at all. I think he's going to look cool. Again, I have a soft spot for Cyborg. My wife lovingly refers to him as Cyborg Bob. She says she has no idea why she calls him Cyborg Bob. She goes, shouldn't I call him like Cyborg Victor? But Cyborg Bob, that's how she refers to him. But I like the detail work that's in here. And there's nothing on the figure that we haven't seen in the movie so far, although there's more black and darker pieces inside of his inner workings. So I had bleh, I can't even talk. I was guessing this is going to be a harder figure for them to sculpt and try and figure out how to do. But like all the other faces so far, I think that's definitely Ray Fisher. So I'm going to say, if it's not good job, Mattel, good try, Mattel. And I don't mean it like, good try, Mattel, it's still dog poo. No, I'm like, good try. Good try doing a figure that's really kind of out there in how are you going to do this type of figure. So, am I glad I bought him? Yeah, because I want Steppenwolf. If there was not a Steppenwolf Collect and Connect and it was just these single figures, I would have still bought Cyborg because I like Cyborg. He does come, he's the first figure so far we reviewed that does come with some accessories to himself. Here is his Sonic Pulse Cannon. So the back of the package did not show that anywhere, and there's no instructions. So I'm guessing that both of these arms will probably pop off, and let's just see. This one probably does not. No. I know that the DC-UC arm pops off on this side, so that's kind of where I was assuming. So there's the Sonic Cannon. And actually, I'm probably going to leave that on. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm warming up to the sculpt on the figure the more that I'm kind of playing with it. Again, it's probably just because I like the Cyborg figure. I mean, yeah, he does look a little stiff. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to be like, oh, it's a perfect figure. I know. Believe me, I know. You don't have to hate on me for it. So, but I still like it, so shut up. So let's take a look at the articulation. The head does look left to right, still a little stiff out of package. Kind of some clicking spots in there. Doesn't look up or down, hardly at all. No tilt left or right. Arms go up a little bit past 90, not too much. On the ball and socket, all the way around 360. It's more like ball and disc. Upper thigh. Bicep swivel. Single elbow hinge. Twist at the forearm. No wrist or hand. No. Again, this one twists and comes off here because of the Sonic Cannon. No ab crunch. Thigh, or excuse me, I'm going to cover everything a thigh. Torso twist. Classic T-jointed legs. Legs go forward and not back much due to his robotic butt back there, kind of blocking, so he can't go back much, but can go forward. Upper thigh cut, there's the thigh rod. Single knee, so it flashes in with the double so far, and then a hinge at the foot. So very cool. Relax, Alfred. I'll take it from here. I like him. I believe he's probably the weakest sculpt so far out of the line. Not gonna lie. Probably could have been a little bit better, but I'll be a little forgiving of it. I can still say he's the weakest, and I can still say I enjoy the figure. Would have been kind of cool to compare the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive with the light-up features, but I think he only really lights up when he's inside of the mother box. So let's take a look at the other two pieces that come with Victor Stone, aka Cyborg Bob. Alright, we've got the left arm and hand and elbow and shoulder-ish for Steppenwolf. So you can see the color of his hand there, which would be obviously the color of his face. And you can see some of the red that's in there now, and the blues and the dark. It's kind of like a muted metallic look there. Pretty cool. Like we saw, I think it's black. I thought he had black fingernails. Saw his battle axe that he's known to have. So this thing must be wielding a good amount of devastation in the movie. We've seen the movie, but I remember having the original Superpowers Steppenwolf. I liked that version of Steppenwolf, I think, just because that was the first Steppenwolf I ever came in contact with. So I think this is a good first villain for the Justice League to fight, and then obviously to tie it into Darkseid eventually later down the road. But detail is really good on here. So this is the one piece that we will be able to collect now. We've collected, and we can connect. So got to get up underneath the shoulder here, I think. A little rough to get inside there. It's not as forgiving plastic as I would kind of hope it would be. So I wonder if I got to get the... There we go, do it that way. There we are. One hand. I got one hand on you. So can you hold the his battle axe? I don't even know if it has a real name. His axe of destruction. So there we go. So far, that's what we have for collecting and connecting. So I can't remember if Wonder Woman's another arm. I believe it's another arm. So I'll be able to put at least two arms together. So we're getting closer. We're getting much, much closer. Final thoughts on this guy. I like him. Room for improvement, as Chapman Films would say, room for improvement, Mattel. Good job, Mattel, or dog vomit, Mattel. There's a little room for improvement. It's not dog vomit. He's the weakest of the bunch, and I was really wanting him to just be... I wanted to feel as good about him as I did the Flash and Batman, but I'm still very happy with it. Maybe after the movie, you get spend a little more time with the character. You go, oh, Mattel did do a pretty decent job. I'm happy with it. Could be a touch better, but you need him to be able to complete Steppenwolf, and it's just nice to have a Cyborg figure. Cyborg for me is even more a lot like Robin, and there's just not a lot of Cyborg stuff out there. As much Robin stuff as there is, there's even less Cyborg. So I'm hoping with this movie, Cyborg will become a kind of a household name after a while. But today we've been taking a look at DC Comics Multiverse from Mattel, and more importantly from the Justice League line. This is Cyborg, as my wife would say, Cyborg Bob. And as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues, signing off saying we will see you guys next time.